Thanks for joining us on another week's edition of the program Political Update right here on OGTV, the People's Telly. Political Update is that program where we keep you up to speed and, of course, keep you abreast of political happenings in and around the world, Nigeria most especially. I'm Dominic Agbe saying welcome to today's edition of the program. Well, so much really to talk about. Don't forget the gubernatorial elections in Edo State slated for the 21st of September is actually in the front burner as far as Nigeria is concerned. So we are going to be looking at one or two things happening in Edo State. And of course, right here in Edo State, we are also preparing for the local government elections. Don't forget, the local government is actually the closest to the people. And a lot of reforms taking place right now at the local government level is actually making a lot of persons to, show interest, in the local government elections coming up in the state. So we are going to be talking to the main umpire, really, as far as that election is concerned. That's no other than the chairman of the Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission. Is going to be joining us in the course of the conversation, and we are going to be looking at their level of preparedness and how much of engagements really they have been having with stakeholders that really matter. But before we do that, we are going to be serving you the news. Yes, major happenings in and around the political scene in the country. Now, I told you earlier on about Edo State. Well, yes, it's actually happening right now. The People's Democratic Party in Edo State on Thursday actually withdrew from signing the peace accord ahead of the Edo State governorship election that is slated for September 21. Now, these actually, their withdrawal has actually caused or sparked a lot of reactions, really, from even those within and outside the state. Now, 17 political parties, we are told, contesting in the poll. 16 have actually signed a treaty with the ruling PDP in the state, the only party which has declined to be part of the agreement. Now, this comes as INEC begins distribution of permanent voter cards today. Now, 3-day exercise ends on Sunday, according to the electoral body. The state PDP chairman, Anthony, and its governorship candidate, Asue Ighodalo, were present at the peace accord signing, but they stoutly declined, to sign their own part. Now, the chairman actually hinged their action on the alleged arrest of 10 PDP members currently detained by the police in Abuja. Now, that's, that's their reason really for not signing. If you are saying we should sign peace accord, well, we should actually feel the peace that we are actually signing. So that's that. Now, the People's Democratic Party in Edo State has also demanded the redeployment of the Edo State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Anubum Onoa, and the Commissioner of Police, Nemo Edwin Iwo, ahead of the September 21 governorship election in the state. Now, at a press conference in Abuja on Thursday, the PDP acting national chairman, Umaru Damagum, vowed that party members would defend their votes with blood and explained that the party did not sign the National Peace Committee's accord due to concerns about the All Progressives Congress-led administration. Now, recall that while the APC signed the accord in Edo State on Thursday, the PDP actually declined. Damagum urged the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, and the Independent National Electoral Commission Chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, to ensure a smooth election in the state. Now, that's that as far as Edo is concerned. Now, moving away from Edo and, of course, moving away from the shores of Nigeria. Now, former U.S. President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris faced off in their first and potentially only presidential debate on Tuesday. Now, moderated by ABC News, the debate took place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and lasted 1 hour and 45 minutes. Now, the two political heavyweights clashed on key issues ranging from abortion rights to immigration, as both candidates sought to sway voters in a tightly contested race. Now, Harris adopted a strategy aimed at baiting Trump, while Trump repeatedly returned to conspiracy theories and false claims. Trump was initially debating the sitting president, Joe Biden, who eventually had to step down for his deputy. Now, the debate served as a crucial moment in the 2024 U.S. presidential election, allowing both candidates to present their policies, contrast their views, and engage directly with each other. Now, that's that as far as it's concerned. Well, we'll continue to keep tabs and, of course, bring you latest happenings as far as the U.S. elections, presidential election is concerned. That's the much we can serve you as far as the news is concerned. We go on this break. When we come back, it's going to be time for the discussion. Do not go anywhere. Political update it is, and we have joining us via Zoom no other than the chairman of the Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission, UGSEC. That's no other than Babatunde Oshibodu. And of course, together we are going to be looking at the local government elections slated for later this year, and together we are going to be looking at the level of preparedness and how much of engagement really has been going on with stakeholders that really matter as far as the elections are concerned. Hello, it's a pleasure having you join us this afternoon on the program to discuss this all-important topic. Now, the local government election is different from the ones we've been having. I mean, because of people's attention, really, as far as the local government is concerned. And of course, the issue of local government autonomy is actually making a lot of persons to have interest in vying for one position or the other as far as local government election is concerned. What are you doing differently, sir, as far as this election is concerned?
Okay, good afternoon, Biodun. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you for the opportunity not only to answer questions from you, but also to speak directly to the people of our dear state, Ogun State. I hope you can hear me very well.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you, thank you. So, as you said, we've embarked on the journey towards the local government elections. They will take place on the 16th of November of this year. Am I okay?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, sorry. So the elections will take place on the 16th of November. That's just a little over 2 months to go. We have begun the process. It was started on the 7th of August. We've released our guidelines, we've released the timetable, we've been dialoguing with stakeholders we had our first stakeholders meeting on the 8th of August, and this last Monday, 2, 3, 4, 5 days ago, we had another dialogue, this time with the political parties in the state. We believe we are well set for the elections. We have all the stakeholders on board, not just the political parties, but the House of Assembly, the security services, the CSOs, civil service organizations, youth groups, women's groups. We believe we are set for what I would term a successful outing this time. That's what we're doing differently. I'll be frank with you. Going by our review of what we did last time, for instance, there was no report at all of any security breaches or any untoward incidents when it comes to the peace of the state. So we're maintaining what we did in that wise. We're deepening our relationship with the security services, not just the police, but the NSCDC, the Army, the DSS, all the bodies responsible for protecting the citizens of the state. They are on board, they're working hard, and I can assure the people of our state that on that day, or even leading up to that day, the security services are up to this task of ensuring that anybody who comes out either to contest or on the day to vote is assured of security to the max. I can also tell you that any troublemakers, and I make no bones about this, will be dealt with very seriously on the day. So if anybody is currently thinking of any such things, they should just permit me to use a Yoruba phrase here. They better not try it, because the security services are ready for them. I believe one of the things that we're doing better this time is that we're speaking more closely to the political parties. We want to ensure that all the registered parties in the state partake of this process. We don't want anybody to be left behind. Another thing we're doing differently is that we're going out there, we're really talking to the people of our state and encouraging them to come out, not just to contest, but to attend rallies of their political parties and to come out on the day of election and vote for their chosen candidates. We assure them that whatever they do, they're protected and their votes will be counted and their votes will count.
Now, talking about ensuring that it's all-encompassing, everyone is actually allowed to participate. In the last couple of weeks, we have had some controversies surrounding the age requirement for the two elective offices at the local government, that's councillorship and chairmanship. Can you please clear the air? I know that has actually been resolved now, but clear the air for the benefit of those who have not really been able to follow up with what has now been agreed.
Okay, very well, Gordon. Thank you for that question. So the issue was that when the guidelines were first released, the age limit for contestants, or the lower age limit, there's no upper age limit, the lower age limit for contestants was put out as 30 years of age. We got some pushbacks, if I may use that word. Basically, we had feedback from stakeholders who said, this can't be right, we need you to go and review this. And as a responsible body, as a body that is always responsive to feedback, we went back, we looked at the Constitution, we looked at the state electoral laws, and we looked at the guidelines, and we realized that actually the Constitution of Nigeria provides that the age limit, or the age at which one is able to contest for the House of Assembly is the same age at which you should be able to contest for the local government, regardless of whether it's councillor or chairman, and that age is 25. So immediately we noticed that we revised the guidelines and brought down the age to 25 for all participants into the into local governments, whether councillor or chairman.
Now, let us look at the issue of logistics. As far as elections are concerned in Nigeria, logistics actually are always issues. I mean, always issues, really, particularly on the day of the election. And of course, we experience sometimes delay the arrival of, late arrival of electoral officials and the rest of them at various polling units, which sometimes could even discourage people from coming out to partake in elections. So, what are you doing really to ensure that your logistic arrangements are top-notch and there will be no hitch really come that day? Okay,
so thank you. So you asked earlier on, what are we doing differently? This is certainly one area that we're looking at critically. We do not want a repeat of anywhere in the past where electoral materials have arrived late. You have to agree with me that we need to strike a balance between security, that is security for the electoral materials, the ballot paper, result sheets and all that, and early arrival at the polling units. The traditional method is to deposit all our voting materials at the CBN office in the state until the morning of the elections. And while that is okay for local governments that are close to the state capital, Abeokuta, it might not quite be the thing to do with outlying areas of the state. So we're looking at a way, I'm not saying it is set in stone now, but we're looking at a way where we can get materials closer to the area of use but before the morning of the election, so that the last mile or the last distance, the final distance for the materials to travel on election day will not be too far. As I said, we need to strike a balance between security and logistics. So we need to do this without compromising the security of those same materials. So as a result, I can't tell you now how it will go, but it's certainly an area that we're looking at critically. Still on logistics, one of the issues also is the availability of vehicles. So you can imagine it's a logistical nightmare, getting all those vehicles out on the road. And when I say vehicles, well over 100, and to their destination at the appropriate time. So we again, this is something that we need to be sure is available. How do we ensure that we procure all the vehicles and they are available by the day before the election, so that it is not a situation where you have sometimes where on the morning of the election you're looking for the driver or you're looking for the vehicle. But these are all the things that we need to put in place to ensure that on the day this thing goes hitch-free. And I can tell you that we're optimistic that by the date of the election, these will all be well taken care of.
Now, another big issue as far as elections in Nigeria, but most especially local government elections, is that of credibility and fairness, really, and transparency of the process. And I'm sure there is this belief that, yes, the ruling party in the state takes everything, and that actually, in a way, discourages some political parties from participating, and not just the political parties, it also discourages individuals really from coming out to even want to come and exercise their franchise to come and vote to be part of the electoral process. What are you doing really to allay this fear that, I mean, it's going to be free, it's going to be fair, it's going to be credible. I mean, it's going to be a reflection of what the people have actually, I mean, the decision the people have actually made through the ballot.
Okay, so the first thing to say here, and I'll be the first person to admit that, yes, the credibility of local government elections is in the balance. People do criticize the conduct of local government elections, not just in Ogun State, but nationwide. And as a chairman of an electoral body, I have to admit that those who criticize the conduct of local government elections have reason to do so. Because if you see that the results are always one way, then it's hard to blame you, it's hard to criticize you for saying, why are they always one way and not the other? Having said that, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, as the Yoruba people will say. So, what is most important is process. For me, it's process, not outcome. As long as the process is not only fair, but seen to be fair, is not only transparent, but seen to be transparent, is not only credible, but seen to be credible, then I've done my job. The result does not depend on me. My job is to make sure that there is a level playing field, that every political party that comes out there and every individual that chooses to contest does so without any handicap in comparison to any other individual or any other political party. That's our job. The result does not depend on us. The result depends on the people that come out to vote on the day. And all I can say is what I've always said. If you say, because last time the ruling party took all the seats, we will not come out to vote this time, or we will not contest this time, then it will not change. Because what it means is that you have accepted defeat before the contest is even kick-started. So my encouragement, my word to the people of our dear state is contest. Not just individuals now. We want credible people to contest. People of proven integrity. People of proven caliber. People who have seen it all, done it all. I know that we want to give our youth a chance, but we can have a blend of youth and experience. That way, the experienced people can come in there and mentor the youth. Let the young people who are starting see how it is done. And then by the time they get to the top, they will do it accordingly. We're encouraging the very best of our state to join political parties and to contest for elections. We're also encouraging our voters, the electorate, to engage the politicians. Engage your politicians. Find out what they have in store for you. Find out and then vote accordingly. I can see that you're eager to come in here, so I'll just stop now.
Unfortunately, yes, very, very eager to come in. I mean, a lot of questions bothering my mind, but unfortunately, time is not on our side. We have to go now. We must thank you, Mr. Babattunde Oshibodu. Of course, in the coming days and months, we'll continue to keep
just getting started.
Yes, I quite agree. But of course, we have other times. We'll definitely invite you to come and tell us other things that you have really as far as the election is concerned.
Just a couple of words, please. I also want to encourage the those who watch OGTV, the audience, that next week we're going to be on 2 Yoruba programs so that we can explain ourselves better on our local language. So on Tuesday and on Wednesday, they should be on the lookout for us coming out again and speaking to our people directly. And I believe that as I always end my broadcasts,
we must thank you so much for the commendable efforts really you are making to ensure that we have a free, credible and fair elections at the local government level. Thank you so much. We'll be speaking with Babatunde Oshibodu, who is the chairman of the Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission. As he has rightly said, they will be coming from time to time to tell us what they have for us as far as the election is concerned. That's the size of the program. We thank you so much for watching. Political Updates will be back by God's grace next week for another edition. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.